German Stuka dive bombers joined in. German troops then crossed the River Meuse in several places. They quickly established bridgeheads on the far bank. Bridges were built so the panzers could cross. They quickly broke out and thrust westward. Just as the Germans had planned, the Allied forces were soon split. Aware that they were about to be cut off, the Allied forces in Belgium began to move back toward the French border. The German panzers rapidly advanced toward the English Channel. On May 20th, 1940, German regiments reached the Channel at the mouth of the River Somme. The Northern Allied forces were completely cut off from the rest of France. The panzers now turned north to the French ports of Boulogne and Calais. On May 25th, Boulogne fell to the Germans. Calais, held by French troops and a hastily gathered force from Britain, surrendered 2 days later. In the north, the German Army Group B continued to pressure the withdrawing Allied forces, now surrounded on 3 sides. The Allies became trapped in a pocket centered on the port of Dunkirk. On May 25th, Belgians who were fighting on the left of the British warned that they could not fight for much longer under the unrelenting German pressure. Commander of the British forces, Lord Gort, was tightly hemmed in by the Germans. He realized that if the Belgians surrendered, his left flank would be exposed and his expeditionary force would be destroyed. He now decided to save his army. He asked London to organize an evacuation by sea back to Britain. On the German side, Gerd von Rundstedt, the commander of Army Group A, had already decided to temporarily halt his panzers outside Dunkirk. After a 2-week rampage across northern France, their crews were exhausted. Vehicles and equipment needed to be repaired, and their supply lines were overextended. Hermann Goering was conscious of the relatively minor contribution his Luftwaffe had made so far. He saw von Rundstedt's pause as his perfect opportunity. Goering believed that his Luftwaffe could claim a spectacular victory by bombing the Allied pocket at Dunkirk. He asked Hitler to give him the chance. On May 25th, Hitler decided to stop von Rundstedt's panzers and assign the destruction of the Allied forces at Dunkirk to Goering's Luftwaffe. This proved to be a grave blunder, one that Hitler would have every reason to regret throughout the war. Hermann Goering wasted no time and ordered his Luftwaffe to attack the Allies trapped in the Dunkirk pocket. The German infantry and artillery maintained pressure on the ground. On May 26, 1940, the day after the British forces asked for help, the man in charge of the British naval base at Dover, Admiral Bertram Ramsay, began evacuating the British Expeditionary Force from Dunkirk. The mission was codenamed Operation Dynamo, but expectations were that it would probably rescue no more than a small proportion of the trapped troops. On May 27th, Belgium's King Leopold surrendered to Germany to prevent any more suffering in his country. This increased the pressure on the beleaguered British at Dunkirk and on Operation Dynamo. As the Luftwaffe began attacking rescue ships crossing the Channel, Goering told Hitler, "Only fishing boats are coming across. I hope the Tommies can swim well." The Luftwaffe sank a number of ships. The Dunkirk pocket was closing. But despite pressure from the Germans, over 26,000 British troops were evacuated by May 29th. And during the next 24 hours, more than 47,000 were rescued. 54,000 more were evacuated on the 30th.